the Legendary PokéMaster, and today we are going to talk about 10 overrated Pokemon. Most of the Pokemon on this list had a lot of hype, or do have a lot of hype surrounding them, but they don't really live up to that hype, whether it be in stats, battling, etc. And also, if a Pokemon is on this list, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad Pokemon, it just means that it doesn't live up to that hype. So without further ado, let's start.
Number 10 is Pikachu. No, I am not just gonna list a bunch of Kanto starters. It's just that Pikachu is overrated in a different way than the rest of this list. While I'll mostly be basing this off of Pokemon that receive a lot of popularity within the Pokemon community, Pikachu is generally more popular among newcomers due to its being the figurehead of the Pokemon franchise. In actuality, Pikachu's stat total barely surpasses 400, and it doesn't learn too many good moves until the higher levels. Even a fully buffed Pikachu at level 100 could be relatively easy to beat. So that is why I am calling for a complete, across-the-board evolution of all Pikachus to Raichu, cause you gotta get that Alolan Raichu, you know? You gotta get it. Number 9 is specifically Mega Charizard X.
But Austin, Charizard X looks so cool with the blue flame and red eyes and...
Okay. I know, this is a cool-looking Pokemon. Even I agree with that. Just look at it. And then look at this. And then look at that again. Yeah, okay. I think you get the point. I think everyone kind of based this choice off of looks rather than stats. When it comes to strategic battling, Charizard Y is actually somewhat superior. Its stats are more well balanced with the exception of defense, which isn't really critical anyway because most water and rock type attacks are special attacks, which Charizard X has trouble handling. Speaking of weaknesses, Charizard X's typing cancels out its immunity to ground type attacks and resistance to fairy type attacks, because you know those fairy type attacks are unfairly overpowered. That was not called for. Yeah, Pokemon Company. Same type attack bonus also usually works out much better with Charizard Y. Not to say that Mega Charizard X is a bad Pokemon, it's just overrated among the community, I think. You guys probably all hate me for it regardless. Okay, I will make up for it with making this next transition awesome. Number 8 is Deoxys. As I mentioned in a previous video, when I was in 4th grade, I asked my friend what the most powerful Pokemon was. He said Deoxys because it has the highest stats in each category. 3 years and 1 less Reshiram later, I traded in the GTS for Deoxys, but was devastated all the way to the deepest part of me. Yes, my arteries. Regular form isn't that appealing right off the bat. It has extremely low defenses and HP, essentially allowing its opponent to KO it in like a couple of hits. And all of the other forms are OP in one category, but everything else is like 10 or 20, I don't know. It's like 10 probably, I think, but that is not acceptable, honestly. Like, if you have max speed, but no attack, no special attack, what good is that? Number 7 is Flygon. Flygon is a very popular Pokemon within the community, possibly for its looks and wide variety of moves. But that's all it really has going for it. Flygon has a base stat totaled 15 less than Porygon Z. And yes, I am biased towards Porygon Z because it is my favorite Pokemon, so don't judge me. Anyway, Flygon has mediocre defense, special attack, and special defense, stats which put it at a somewhat of a disadvantage against its weaknesses, as Fairy and Ice type attacks are much more often special attacks than regular attacks.
This is ice.
You see, that's a good example. It also doesn't have many leveling up attacks, just really TM attacks. Once again, not a bad Pokemon, but oddly popular based on what it has to offer. Number 6 is Mew. If you use it with a great moveset, Mew can actually be a great asset, but there's one dilemma. Its signature trait of being able to learn all the TMs. At first you think,
oh, that's pretty cool.
But when you eventually get a Mew, you can't really think of a good enough moveset to be made up of TM attacks. Or at least that's what happened to me.
That's why it's still pretty cool.
Hey, if you could come up with a better strategy than toxic stalling, I am all in for Mew.
Oh, I'll go home now.
Okay, you do that. Its stats also aren't that great, and if you're planning to use it or its clone in competitive battling, I'd go with Mewtwo. It's still got that Pokemon Red and Blue hype though, because that's basically the only good Pokemon you can get in Red and Blue, or at least one of the most powerful ones. There are also good Pokemon like Charizard and Venusaur and Lapras, but yeah, that's one of the best ones that you can get, but otherwise it's not that great. I don't know why I'm mumbling, or mumbling. Not mumbling, bumbling. blabbering, so let's just hurry up and go to number 5. Number 5 is Omanyte. Now, if you know Pokemon, and you know memes, you know what I am talking about with this one. Omanyte became a meme because of its reminiscence to Cthulhu, a fictional cult character, and then people said it was the most powerful Pokemon because of this. It is not. Unless you're in meme land, which is cool by me. Number 4 is Zoroark. When it was revealed, Zoroark instantly became an integral part of every team, and often is to this day. Why? I don't know. It basically has the same stats as Deoxys, but weaker, and it doesn't really learn too many great moves. I think people liked the appearance and story behind the Pokemon a lot, which I can understand. But when it comes to battling, I wouldn't really choose Zoroark. Number 3 is Litten.
Litten, where do I start?
When this Pokemon was first revealed, everyone jumped to it in contrast with the other starters due to looks. Eventually, its final evolution, Incineroar, was revealed, causing many people to jump ship primarily to Deoxys. This is another instance of a Pokemon being overrated based just on looks, and people jumping to conclusions as to whether or not it will be powerful. And although it may not be a bad Pokemon, I think we could all agree that it deserves some spot on this list. Number 2 is Blaziken. I am so sorry, Shadikin. Blaziken, once again, is not a bad Pokemon. However, it does lack in a lot of essential stats, basically only having a buffed attack and special attack stat. Everything else is intermediate at best, really. It also doesn't learn many special attacks, making it very vulnerable to all of the types that have an advantage against it. However, it does have a lot of resistances on the plus side. At the end of the day, Blaziken isn't bad, but it doesn't really live up to the hype that surrounds it. And that's why it's number 2. It is very popular compared to the other 2 starter Pokemon final evolutions from Hoenn, and that kind of seems a bit unfair. Number 1 is Arceus. Arceus. I think you did know that it will be on this list, and you probably also know why. But I'll tell you anyway, because that's why I made a video on it. So yeah, here it goes. After this commercial break, we'll be right back.
To protect the world from devastation, to unite all people within our nation, to denounce the evil of truth and love, to extend our reach to the stars above. Josh and Joshua, Team Rocket blast off at the speed of light. Thunder now, we're prepared to fight. I'll get your phone, alright?
Okay, we're back. Arceus is meant to be the most powerful Pokemon, and I'd say it's close to that expectation, but not quite there. It has even stats at 120 each, which is generally powerful, but won't provide you with much of a strategic advantage. Otherwise, Arceus is actually pretty good with a good moveset and the useful ability to be any type. But the thing that makes this Pokemon overrated is that there are 2 Pokemon that are more powerful, Mega Mewtwo and Mega Rayquaza. This kind of eliminates its most powerful Pokemon vibe. Yet people still consider it most powerful, so that kind of is being overrated, and that is like the most overrated thing it could be, so that is why it is at number 1. That is all for my selections. As I said a bunch of times throughout the video, if a Pokemon is listed here, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad Pokemon, it just means that it doesn't quite live up to the hype or popularity that surrounds it. So what do you think? Do you agree with me? Are there any other overrated Pokemon? Please leave a comment down below telling me what's up. You could also subscribe to see videos like this twice a week. Regardless, have fun playing Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I'll see you in the next video.